What up guys, my name is Kong and today I'm going to be talking about Chernobyl, the Ministry. I watched this on HBO Max. As we all know, what happened in Chernobyl is the famous, I wouldn't say famous, but the most disastrous meltdown in humans history. There are other meltdowns, the one recently in Japan, but this one was the big one that really affected the continent. So let's talk about what I did like about this movie. I love the setting. It's really the 70s and the late 80s. You see the style clothes they wear, the shoe that they wear, the way they walk, the way they talk to each other. Obviously, this in Chernobyl, it's like near Belarus and then general area, and the character here these characters are so well fleshed out. Obviously, these characters they live once at one time on Earth, so we do get a sense of who they are. Our main antagonists, they're two main, they're really not antagonists, but they're two guys. There is, I guess you could say, the Secretary of I wouldn't say more like the Secretary of Defense. It's more like a FEMA. It's like the FEMA directors, and then or health directors. And then you have the scientists, the physicists that have to figure out what happened, how to solve the issue, how to prevent a meltdown. And so those two men did a really wonderful job. And then you have the woman who really does the investigative work. I don't think she actually exists. I think they did that in contributing to the people who had no voice. So kudos to that, if I'm correct. And then you have and then the character here, they talk like really great. The characters are believable. All this is really, really good. And then what else? I like the fact that highlight how the format was done, in the sense of where it happened at the beginning, the explosion of the nuclear meltdown, and then it go back in time. So we get to where at the end or when an explosion, and then we slowly go back in time and figure out what really went down. And I like that because it give you a sense. In that way, they show you who these characters are, who they are, how they talk, how they walk, how they communicate with each other. It's really, really, really good. And then what I like is the relationship between the two men. Obviously, they're really good because at the beginning they really didn't like each other, but then at the end they sort of understood their role, what they had to do to prevent the meltdown, because it could affect all of Russia. So that's why I really like the chemistry between these two men. And what I love the most is the ending, is the explanation of the nuclear meltdown, how it happened, what's going on, and why these three men are responsible for the meltdown. So it was really, really, really interesting. And then he made it in a sense, he talked to you as the audience, he talked to the judges in the movie in simplest form, but also in scientific terms that you can actually understand visually and auditorily. So I like that a lot, because in science there's so much jargon, there's so many things that theories to explain what's going on. And he was able to do this to convince or show to the audience what the world really went down. I like that effect. So guys, what did I not like about this movie? There's not much to like about this movie. It's really well done. It's well executed, well done, well written, well acted. The way they shot is just great. This movie is just good overall. Well, what I did not like about this movie is that I wish this spoken in Russian or big Russian. That would have been more interesting. That would have been more I would have liked it because you get there in that way you get to hear the tone, the tonality of that Russian language and have subtitle. I did not mind it was English; it was still good, but it would have been nicer to hear in original in Russian. And what else I did not like? There are some moments in the episode where it is a little bit slow at time, and then it sort of picked it up. And I guess that's just the flow of in an emergency event such as a meltdown. It's so things are slowed down. So there are some slow moments in this ministry, but however, it does not affect the overall score or the overall stories. So, what was the rating I give this movie, guys? I give it an 8 out of 10. I highly recommend you watch Chernobyl on HBO Max because it's that good. The storytelling is really good. The consequences of a nuclear meltdown is apparent. It's devastating. It's real in this movie, and everything that's involved is substantially affected by radiation. And this really shows you that once the Pandora box is open, that the Pandora box cannot be closed. As hard as you try to close that door on Pandora, it is hard. So this movie really shows you that Pandora aspect. So it's more than playing with fire, So that's what I really appreciate what this movie have done and have tried to achieve to really explain and show the consequence of a human error. So it's really, really devastating. I like that they achieved that goal. So 8 out of 10. This ministry, this episodes, this show is really, really, really good, guys. I cannot highly recommend it. Go out and watch on HBO Max. Anyway, guys, please like, thumbs up, share, subscribe, and browse to my YouTube channel. I have a lot of content for you guys to check out. Please do so. Thank you so much and take care, guys. Bye-bye.